Lots of fun focusing in on specifically the late models and during the first 10 years of State Line Speedway. And such folks as the owners, Leonard Briggs and Marv Thorpe and Don Frank and Jerry Frank and people that were probably you recall.
Yeah.
And
I used to have all kind of problems.
None of this surprises us. In fact, we're looking at this picture here, John, of a guy that looks like you.
Yeah, it's me.
So here we are. Was racing in your blood, John?
Oh yeah, I run for 20 years.
Oh, was that right?
Oh yeah.
And what got you started? Was that in your family?
No,
No?
No, I just lived in Erie, and they opened up that Erie Erie racetrack out there on the west side.
Okay.
And
Erie Stadium?
No, I run at the stadium too.
Sort of Cool Road? Was that KUHL?
Yeah, Cool Road. But this year one was out where there's a car lot out there on the west side now, West 26th Street. They had a track.
Oh, really?
And that's where I started.
Did you build your own car?
Yeah.
About what year, John? What year did you start?
Oh,
Would you
God.
guess?
I couldn't tell you.
It was in the 50s?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because I run Sportsman's for a while,
Right.
and then I went to new cars. I bought, in 55, I bought a brand new Chevy, and I run up state line around, and then I'd go out to Toledo, Ohio, Cleveland, and different places down in Atlanta, Georgia,
that was the Mark circuit?
ARCA.
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
called ARCA now used to be called Mark.
Yeah.
John Markham and
Yeah.
that bunch.
Oh yeah, I had trouble with them too.
Starting to see a pattern here, John.
Because when I wouldn't show up for them, they wanted to know where I was at, and I told them it was none of their damn business.
Oh, nice. So they wanted you exclusive, huh?
Yeah. And then, well, one time I run at Canfield, Ohio for Markham, and they had one over at Akron. So I went over there, and he sent somebody over to check who was running over there, and I was in trouble.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't let me run. I went over to Canfield afterwards, and he wouldn't let me run. I said, I wouldn't give a shit. That's the way I was.
You must have run across Bill Rexford at that same time because he was racing that same circuit you were.
Yeah.
Did you know Bill?
Oh, yeah.
What can you tell us about Bill?
Well, he didn't marry her, he was living with her. He was a wild one. He borrowed a car from somebody over in Jamestown. I forget what the name of the guy was. And towing his race car. Coming home, the deer run out, and he hit him.
Oh, gosh.
So he got out and looked at it, and it looked pretty bad. So he set it on fire. So the car burnt. So he called up the owner that he bought it from, and he said, I got bad news. And he says, what? He said, I run into a herd of deer. And he said, it's a mess. And it caught fire. So he said, well, don't worry about it. He said, I'll call you up tomorrow. Called him up, said, guess what, Bill? What? No fire insurance. Yeah, Bill Rexford and Johnny Reynolds. And who else?
Lloyd Moore?
Lloyd Moore, yeah. And all guys, Scott Johns, Snars.
Emery raced a little of that stuff too, didn't he?
Yeah, Emery, well, in 55, he had a 55 Chevy. And when I went to Toledo to run mine the first night, I went up to the Toledo and I was going to race it. And the guy come over and he said, "You going to race that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got anything on it?" I said, "Hell no." I said, "I got the car payment in the goddamn glove box." And he said, "I got one out in the parking lot to beat you." I said, "You think you will? Bring it in." And he started to bug me. So I told him, I said, "Get the hell out of here." So he left and I run Toledo and I got second in a 300 lapper. And so I was back in the pits. Here he comes. I said, "Oh," I told the crew, I said, "Keep him away from me, we're going to have trouble." So he come over and he said, "You know who I am?" I said, "No." And I said, "I don't give a shit who you are." He said, "Well, I'm Murray Rose."
Murray Rose, the Indianapolis driver?
Yeah.
And he was the head of Chevrolet racing division in 55. And he said, "Well, I'm Murray Rose." I said, "I don't give a shit, I'm Johnny Ditch."
Yeah.
Just like that. That's,
Unbelievable.
and so we got talking then, and he said, "You got any extra parts for that or anything?" I said, "I told you before, I got the payment book in the glove box. That's it." So he said, "Well, I'll send you some parts." I said, "Yeah, okay." So I figured that's bye-bye, you know. So Wednesday, I was working at Boyd and Schaefer's in the area, and my wife called. And she said, "There's a semi up here," and said that they have stuff for you from Chevrolet. I said, "I didn't order nothing from Chevrolet." Well, she said, "You better run up." So I come up, and here they had wheels, rear ends, extra radiators, pressure caps, heavy spindles, everything. I run all year for nothing. And Emery, you mentioned Emery, he was running Chevy that year. And he come in and there was a bit of steam and just something terrible. And he said, "I better load it up," he said, "or I'm going to blow it up." I said, "Get it cooled down." And I said, "We'll fill it up with water." I said, I'm going over my truck, and I said, "I'll be back." So I got one of the radiator caps that Chevrolet gave me, and I give it to him. He went out and he run the rest of the year and never had no more steam. Yeah.
So you had basically factory sponsorship.
Well, he, at that time, just one deal, that was all that they give me. And then I had, from ARCA, I lived in Ripley, New York at the time, and he called up and he said, "John," he said, "we need you." I said, "I got my car all tore apart." And he said, "We need you in Texas." I said, "I ain't got no money to come. I don't have the rear end, don't have the tires or nothing. You get down here, we'll have them." I said, "All right, I'll see what I can do." So my car wasn't tore apart. I said, "But I got to have money, you know." So he said, "You got your parts and you got $500. I said, "Well, if you're going to give me $500 for this one, all the races I come to from now on, I want my 500. He said, okay. So I got $500 every time I went to run for our
Wow.
That was big money back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's probably more than you were making at your job.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. I was making about $200 a week.
$500 in appearance money.
Yeah. And we'd run Saturday and Sunday, usually, unless we went down south. But I run down Georgia. We went down there 3 times in one summer. And where else did I run? Dayton, Ohio. Up Dayton, Ohio. They stopped the race one day. I said, what the hell? There's nothing on the track, and I don't see no wrecks. Here, 7 cars. The guys went to, what's that one you rent the cars from?
Yeah, you use a rental agency like
Yeah.
Hertz or
Yeah.
Avis or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
They stopped the race because there were 7 cars out there that somebody rented, and they're racing them. So they took the 7 cars off, and then they left us go back racing.
Unbelievable. Well,
Yeah.
that's really stock.
Was it common for other drivers to get help from Chevrolet and help from Markham? I mean, appearance money, or were you kind of in a special category?
No, the big guys always gets money. You know, the ones that's running, and if you run every race, you usually can work out a deal. Same with thing right now. I mean, you figure Junior there has got that girl in there. He's getting big bucks. He's getting big bucks for that.
Who were the hot dogs back then in Markham series? Was Iggy Katona? Was he part of that?
Iggy Katona, and
Who else?
Bob Pronger from Blue Isles, Illinois, the Cadillac driver.
Mm-hmm.
And then they drained the canal behind his house, and they found 3 brand new Cadillacs in it, and he went to jail.
I think he might have been killed, assassinated.
Well, he went to jail, I know that.
I think he might have met his demise in prison.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It seemed like he had some mafia connections, and they might have fixed it. But that's another story for
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah.
Huh.
You find yourself, first of all, let's go back. State Line Speedway opens in 1956. Day 1.
And I got stuck going down the back straightaway.
Tell us about that.
Well, I went out to try to help dry it up, and I got stuck going down the back straightaway. They had to tow me out.
First day?
First time that they run.
It rained that morning.
Yeah, and the track was so wet. I went out, pulled down, and I was going down the back straightaway to come around, and I got stuck going down the back straightaway. So they had to pull me out.
Unbelievable.
And then one time over there, I snapped an axle. This was in '65. I had a Pontiac, and I could snap them axles every time I lost my head. Yeah. So I pulled over in the infield, you know. So it caught on fire because I left it. And the infield caught on fire. So they come over here. They said, "What in the hell are you burning in that?" Well, I said, "I don't know. There's blue fire coming out. Must be blue smoke." It wasn't blue smoke, I'll tell you that. Because I used to go out to the airport and get the airplane fuel.
Oh, no kidding.
And then I'd mix something with it. It made it worse.
Do we ask now that 60 years has come what the something was?
I'm trying to think what I had it.
Nitro?
No.
castor oil?
No, lacquer thinner.
Lacquer thinner with aviation fuel.
Hmm. And I'll tell you a good one about that. I come by and I put a little bit in it. George Halso come by, he put a little bit in it. Cigar, my mechanic, he come by and he put a little in it. And we went to state line. So I went out for the heat race. And I'm running, boy, sweat, you know, and it was cold. What the hell's going on? And I looked, I had a little hole in on the floor, and I looked down through, and the whole block was cherry red.
Oh my gosh.
So I just killed her. And I coasted out into the pits. And I said, load her up, boys. I said, she's junk. They said, what do you mean it's junk? I said, well, I don't think there's any pistons or anything else in that motor that's any good. I said, did you put the mixture in? Yeah. And I looked at the cigar. Did you put the mixture? Yeah. I said, so do I. So we're shot.
That's a good. Well, that's a great. Well, you got more. So what other stories are there about State Line Speedway? This is unbelievable.
Stuart Johns, we used to run with him.
Right?
And then that, I forget what that one guy from Erie, he had the shakes, you know, until the race started. He was always going like this. The race started and he straightened right up.
Oh,
I forget his name.
I'm trying to think who that could be.
He's a young kid.
Litz?
No, Litz died.
Yeah.
But no, I know Litz. Litz, he was my buddy. One time I put Connie out. We was racing, and he started around the outside of me. I didn't know he was there. I usually clip the goddamn wall going around, straighten me up, you know. And he was there. I put him out over. So I went down to him and I said, Dick, I said, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were there. He said, don't be sorry. I knew I should never did that. But Dickie and I was always good friends.
Who else had this? Erie. It wasn't Dill.
No, Tom Deal, I know him.
Kamazarski?
No, Mike Karmazarski. No, it was a young
Young
kid.
guy from
Yeah,
Erie.
yeah. I forget what his name was.
Not Dizzy. Dizzy.
No,
Eads.
I know Dizzy.
Not
Look at
Dizzy.
here,
No.
Jace Ballman. Is that kind of time period?
Who could that be, Bill? Help us out.
I'm trying.
He
He had the shakes, huh?
always, his head was going like this all the time.
Ed Faulkner.
No, Ed Faulkner was all right. I knew him, Eddie Faulkner. But soon as he's,
Archie Holcomb.
that could be. But soon as the race started, he was straightened right up. As soon as that flag come down, he was good.
We're gonna show you something. Now that you're on a roll, I could see, Johnny, there's stories here to be told. Pardon?
Want to see this one first?
No, that one there,
This one
for
first?
65, yeah. Look at this, you're gonna have to believe this. This is a one of a kind. So if you see somebody,
Johnny White, yeah, I know him. Floyd, oh yeah, Floyd. One time he put new tires on. He was having 100 lapper or something like that up a bus side. And we was out there warming up. And I threw mine in a skid and took his 2 brand new tires off. He was mad at me.
I can imagine that.
Stuart Jones, Tom Dale, yeah, I know him. Jimmy Scott, yeah, Scott, in 65, I had my car down Daytona, and I come home, and Scott, he wanted to go to Texas. I said, you want a car, take mine. So he took mine down there and run it, because I couldn't go that year. So, yeah, Jimmy, he was all right. Is he still living?
I saw him Saturday night.
Did
I
you?
told him I was gonna see you on Monday, and he said, well, you tell that old booger I said hello.
Is he still got the junkyard?
No, he sold it.
Did he?
He's a rich man now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I figured you would be.
He has told us about the time you loaned your car to him
Oh, yeah.
to go to Texas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said he took your car out to Texas and he outran Busink's car
Yeah.
that whole tour. When he got back home, Busink fired his guy and put Jim into his car.
Yeah.
And he said he owed that to you.
Yeah. Sammy Lamacruso. Yeah.
By the way, he sends his best.
Floyd. Yeah, I know him. He was supposed to, one year he wanted me to go with him down to, down Pennsylvania, that race down there to where all the honeymooners go.
In the Poconos?
Poconos. He was going to go down there, and he wanted me to go down and run his car.
Mm-hmm.
And then something happened. I don't know, but he didn't go, so I didn't get to go down there to run. Blackwell, Ronnie, yeah. Oh yeah, you got them all.
There's some more here,
Oh.
John.
He's got some of them.
Oh, I don't know that guy. He's bad.
Pointing to
Bob,
himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Bobby snores. Mike. Karmasarski?
Yeah, he was from
Yeah.
Erie. Or
Yeah.
Gerard or
Yeah.
someone.
Chuck Piazza, yeah. Larry Palmer, he had the tank. He had the tank.
Tell us about the tank.
Yeah.
It was too heavy, couldn't do nothing, only smash other ones. Freddie Knapp, he runs for Buznik down in Florida. Yeah. Paul Wilson. Wilson. Don't recognize that one. Johnny Whitehead. Yeah. Yeah, you got him.
Who was the top gun during your time period at State Line, either the first time in 1956 or later on when you picked it up again? Who were the big?
Snars, Squirt Johns,
Mm-hmm.
and who else? Whitehead once in a while, he'd get it. Yeah.
In '56, that first year, did you race much there?
Yeah.
The whole season?
Yeah.
Was who was the point champion?
Joe Sonner. Remember Joe Sonner, number 18? Had a Ford,
Yeah. Yeah.
twin auto Ford it
Oh,
sat
yeah,
on the side
yeah,
of it. He
yeah.
was a champion that year.
Yeah.
Dean Layfield. Did you race against him?
Yeah. Dean Mayfield, yeah. And, oh God, just about anybody.
Well, here
Well, we're getting another list of names.
these are pictures from early in your career, John, maybe late 50s.
Yeah.
That's Bob Schnars,
Yeah.
Jug Pierce,
Yeah. Pierce. I remember him.
John Seeley.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that.
That's Bud Finale, Floyd's brother.
Yeah. No, I didn't know him.
Okay, this is Carl Tyler.
No.
That is Ed Stayer.
Yeah.
Kenny Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
You must have raced all over heck with Kenny Johnson.
Yeah. He had the Hudson.
Yeah, that's the guy.
I think I'm old, huh?
No. It's
Oh, yeah. 83 tomorrow.
Congratulations.
83 tomorrow.
Oh, never.
That's wonderful, John. That's Don Bailey,
Yeah. Don Bailey. Yeah.
Ronnie Blackmer,
Yeah.
and I think that's Paul Wilson again.
Yeah.
And that's Squirt.
Squirt Jones. Oh, yeah. The little guy, he used to drive with sitting on a box
Yeah.
when he first started.
Jeez, what a
That's
memory.
Johnny McGinley.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Who we got down here? Jim Patrick,
Yeah, I remember the name.
number 133.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Ford,
remember.
Ford or Mercury.
Yeah, Mercury, I think it was.
Okay. Frank Liffner,
No.
Mike Egan. He was from Dunkirk.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's Phil Jackson.
yeah,
That's that Joe Sonner that we were talking about.
yeah,
And that's Dean Layfield over here.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got a few more on the back. Floyd Green.
Yeah.
There's Emery right
Yeah,
there.
Every man. Yeah,
Tom Dill.
yeah,
Marv Thorpe.
yeah.
Freddie Knapp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's Sammy Lamacuso.
yeah, Sammy, that's who was supposed to come today.
Yeah.
That's
He's
who,
in Chicago. He went to the NASCAR race.
oh, okay, 'cause that's who called me?
Sammy.
Sammy did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Ohio Russell.
yeah. I remember him.
Jim Feeblecorn.
No, not too
Floyd Thomas again.
much. Yeah, they're Floyd.
Gus Nelson.
Yeah,
Bud Gardner.
no,
And there's Jimmy Scott again.
yeah.
Eb Young.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck Piazza.
Yeah,
And Woody McCracken.
yeah.
Jim Scott told us a story about how you and him went to Daytona.
Yeah,
And it's you had a Pontiac apparently. And
Yes,
You guys went to Smokey Unick's garage.
65, yeah.
You remember going to Smokey's garage?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that trip?
Not much. He wouldn't let us in to see the good stuff.
Is that right?
Oh, hey, we got in, but he wouldn't let us get back to see what was going on.
Did he sell you any parts or anything like
No,
that?
no, he didn't sell us nothing.
Okay.
But I remember, I forget what year it was, he come to Daytona, and he had holes drilled in the frame to lighten it up, and they wouldn't let him run, send him back home.
Now you raced at Daytona at least twice that I
Twice.
know of.
65 and 66.
Right. Okay.
And I remember before that, I was down there just to see the race. And Fireball Roberts, he come up, he was running for the guy that you said.
Smokey.
Yeah, Smokey. And he come in, and he was so drunk he couldn't stand up.
Mm.
And he said to me and a couple other guys, he said, help me get in the car, because if they see I'm drunk, they're going to let me run. We helped him, put him in the car. And he went out and took the 500.
My gosh.
But unbelievable. You sit in the car, popped a couple of pills. Unbelievable. But that's one thing I'd never do, is take pills or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I was crazy enough. But we helped him get in the car.
What was it like for a guy like you who's used to going around a 3rd-mile dirt track at State Line to now go to Daytona on 2.5 miles of blacktop?
Well, the first time out on the track, I come around and I go into the first turn, and you know I've been throwing it sideways up here,
Mm-hmm.
and I threw it sideways and blew my tires. So I come around and they give me the black flag, so I pulled in. One of the officials come over and he says, where in the hell did you come from? I said, up north. He said, we don't drive like that down here. I said, I'm not neither, because it just, I said, it just cost me a lot of money. Okay.
Very good, John.
Yeah.
Well, you had pretty good luck down there. You finished 14th the
Yeah.
first year and 22nd the next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did all right.
Whose car did you have? Was it your car, Jim?
Oh, yeah. I've always had my own car.
Your car.
Ordered the Pontiac for racing at
Murray Price.
Murray Price. And the car come in, and it had had a sticker on it, racing car, which was supposed to have the heavy duty rear end and everything. Well, when I got to Daytona, none of that was any good. I had to buy whole rear end, wheels, big wheels, everything. I had to do all that down there. Because if something would happen, the wheel would go off or something with that kind of rear end, where they have them.
They had floater rear ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to buy a rear end, and I had to fix the gas tank, you know, for the overflow and all that shit. Cost me, I think, $250 just for the welder and to do the tank and the rest of the welding on the car. The first year I went down. And see, I went down and I run ARCA.
Mhm.
And then I switched over to Daytona. So when I switched over to Daytona, they looked all over my car and they gave me a list like that. And I said, what the hell, don't you want me to run? He said, what, why, what's the matter? I said, you give me a list like that, I think you're crazy. He said, oh, you have to do it if you want to run. I said, well, we've come down early 2 weeks ago to build this one for ARCA, so I said, I guess I got 2 weeks to get ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
So Richard Petty and his father. His father come first, Lee. And I said, he said, how you doing? He said, you're new. I said, yeah. And I said, he said, how you doing? I said, look at the list them stupid son of a bitches give me. So Lee, he pointed out, do this, do that, do this, about half of it. He said, they'll let you run. But he said, don't tell them that I said so. I said, okay, so we did what Lee told us. And passed from flying colors.
Really?
Yeah. But it was unbelievable. And Petty's was the only one that give me any help.
Right.
You know, told me what to do. And then, what was it, colored
Wendell Scott?
Wendell Scott. I was parked right alongside of him. And I had to go, I was going to go buy the big nuts, you know, for the wheels. No, he said, I get them. He said, mine's used, but they're good. So he gave me enough for my wheels.
Great.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And it was a chore to go down there like I was on my own. No sponsors, no nothing. I put Murray's name on, but he didn't know it. But I didn't get nothing out of him.
Yeah. You had a number throughout your career. U2. When did U2 come?
What's his name from Pittsburgh? He run for Johnny Reynolds. I can't think of it right now. Dick Linder.
Dick Linder?
Yeah. Mhm. He run U2, and he got killed, and I started running.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought
Because
I
see-
thought Dick Linder was V2.
I did too, but
No, huh?
No, it was you too, huh?
U2.
I'll be
Yeah,
gone.
because he drove for Johnny Reynolds up around here. He drove for Johnny Reynolds in U2, and so when he got killed, I put U2 on mine.
Oh, that's a very nice start. I also am looking at a couple of pictures here of your car, U2, and one where there's a quote that says,
If it don't fit, force it
was that a,
on the front fender.
right?
And on the back fender, you see Can you see it on the back?
No.
Usually I had on the back, hello, wall. Cause I'd always,
Why did you put that on your car, John?
well, they said that was rough driver, so I just put it on the fender just to agitate him. If it don't fit, force it.
I'm also looking here, you got stripes?
Yeah,
I mean, you were.
Nobody had stuff like you did.
I had, you know how I got them stripes?
No.
I ordered a white car. We took toilet paper, put the toilet paper right down over the back, and we painted the black stripes. When I went down Daytona, they said, "What in the hell you got your car painted like that for?" I said, "That's the way I like it." So after the race, a couple of them come over to me. He said, "I know why you got them goddamn stripes." He said, "Who's trying to follow you gets dizzy."
And if you notice, John had a stripe on his helmet.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, well, I even had, yeah. And then I usually wore referee black and white shirts. I
Is
had.
that right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Black and white referee shirts.
Umpire shirts.
Hmm.
You dared to be different.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, I understand, this is from my buddy Bill over here, that this particular car, 1965, was, you literally took it off the car lot and went and drove it, is that right?
65?
Yeah.
That's a brand new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one I took to Daytona.
So you took it right off, it was right off the lot, huh?
No, I ordered that right in.
Okay.
Brand new. They'd come in, and Jimmy, what was his name? He's a mechanic up there, paint guy. Jim?
Ford?
No. He was married to Katie.
Oh, Alexander, Rusty.
Rusty.
Rusty Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, he was my one that always put the fenders on after I took them off.
He worked with Jimmy Scott a lot too
Yeah.
back in the day.
And he worked for Murray. And when this car come in, Jimmy called me up and he said, "Your car's in." And Murray hadn't even seen it yet. So I went up to the garage and we tore the upholstering out, the windows and everything. Murray come in the next day and he was sick.
Probably worried that you weren't going to pay him.
And Jimmy said, he said, "Oh, he'll be nervous wreck in the morning." I said, "Well, that's all right. Don't worry about it." But we had it all tore apart, all the windows and everything ready to put the roll bars in as soon as I got it to the garage.
It looks like a lot of the paint job was done by a guy named, or the Batamy? Is it
Batamy.
Batamy?
Yeah, that was later on, yeah.
Okay. What other sayings did you use? Did you have other sayings that you were part of your cars that sort of drew attention to yourself?
God, I don't know.
Remember?
It's hard
Were
to
there other
tell.
ones, Bill? You remember?
Oh, one of them was loose as a goose and twice as nasty.
Oh,
Remember
yeah, yeah, I remember that.
that? Yeah.
Now, was that you or was this the sign guy?
No, it was me. They'd always ask me before they put anything on the car. Because
Loose as a goose and twice as nasty.
oh yeah, yeah.
Remember that.
What other kind of- what else, Randy? Let's see. This, did we show you this? This is
Yeah.
65, all right, 68 is another one.
65 is a Chevy, ain't it? Yeah, this is Pontiac.
Yeah, this.
Yeah.
John, you
Yeah.
remember that
The Che-
64 or 5 Chevelle you bought from
Yeah.
Little Joe after you got done with the Pontiacs? What
Yeah.
a beautiful car that was. I think they even gave you Best of Show award or something for it, and it really runs.
Oh
It
yeah.
was a 64 or 5 Chevelle. You and Rusty built it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was quite a car.
Well, I was took the transmission out. So I went and bought that 64, 65, I don't know what it was.
Something.
And to get the transmission out in a hurry, I just put a chain through the one window and out the other window and flopped her right over on the side. Beautiful car. We needed a transmission for that night.
Wow.
So then, when I come back, I took the motor out because it was 4 on the floor and everything, you know. And took the motor out and I stuck it in the Pontiac. Transmission, Chevrolet motor. I said, do not lift the hood tonight. I said, if it runs, we'll run. And if it don't run, I'm loading it up. And I said, after the race, if we make it to the end, I said, have the planks down, and I'm going to put it right up on the truck and get the hell out of here, because they're going to be down checking it. So I finished the race, went down, and right in the finish, they threw the boards on, the way they went. So what's the one from State Line was always in the pits?
Leonard Briggs?
Briggs, yeah. He come down and he said, where's your car? I said, on the goddamn road. I said, I can't wait around for you.
That must have made him mad.
Oh, it does. So he said, all right. So I figured when we come to State Line or Erie, he's going to want to check it over. So I said, Jimmy, I said, get busy. Make a Chevrolet out of it. So he tore the tin off and put the Chevrolet on. Back we went. So then he couldn't say nothing, see?
Right.
So then, after that time I got the infield on fire, he come down at Erie. He said, we want to test your gas. Well, I said, go ahead. I said, all it is goddamn scat. You know. So he took a sample. And we watched and waited till just before the feature. Phew, dumped her in, you know, the good stuff.
The good stuff.
Then away we went. But they make them rule books just to make you cheat. That's what all the rule books are. What you can't do, that's what you're going to do.
John, we've asked this question of everybody,
Yeah?
and it's this. If you were on the last lap of a feature,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the lead,
Mm-hmm.
who's the guy you would least likely to have on your bumper? The one you just didn't want to have then?
Well, it never bothered me because if somebody did it to me, I was going to do it to him twice. Now that's just the way it was. Tom Dill tell you that?
Tough man right there.
What's that other one? The one that passed away in Erie. Litz, he'd tell you the same thing. Don't mess with John, because
Yeah.
you're going to get her twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there and watched him, man. Tom and John Dix was somebody to reckon with, that's for sure.
John, did you ever get hurt racing a car?
No, I didn't get hurt. I had a few bruises from rolling over, you know, because I had the shoulder harness and everything. But no bones or nothing.
You ever have a bad wreck?
Oh, yeah. Up in Toledo, we was going and there was a car right blocking the whole thing, and it was on fire, and I'm scared of fire. So what do? Whoop, down in the infield, and I hit something, and I had another fire down there. But that's the only thing that bothered me. was the fire. Anything else, let her fly.
Johnny, what was the highlights? You know, when you sit back and you say, there's a couple of wins or races which were really special to me.
I'd never got a win at State Line or Erie, other than that's the features.
Right,
I got a lot of heats, a lot of semis,
right,
but I never got a feature.
right.
I was leading the feature at Erie one night and coming out for the checkered flag. I don't know who it was, but he was sitting right there and somebody was right on the side of me. And I hit him. And that messed the whole night. George Helso, him and I worked on the motors.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had the Chevy there, one night he sent cigar down. He said, ask that old son of a bitch how hard he's turning that. So cigar comes down. He said, George wants to know how hard you're turning. I said, just 5. Then I was twisting about 8.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Because at State Line, how is it? I was running 4th gear. But Erie, no, State Line, I'd run 3rd gear.
Right, Erie is 4th.
Yeah. And I had it in 3rd, and I was just whining the shit out of it. And that's when he sent down to find out what I was twisting. Because I forgot to put it in 4th.
Oh, my God.
I get it. John, here's a picture
Oh, yeah.
taken a few years ago at some sort of a driver's reunion. And I see you sitting in there.
Where, right here?
Yeah, isn't that you?
Yeah, I think it is.
Sure looks like you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that was bus style, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, escort.
Yeah.
A lot of over the dam.
You catch up with any of the old racers at all? Johnny, do you?
No.
No?
No. Because I can't drive at night.
Right,
And if we have to go at night or something, my daughter has to take us.
right.
One of the daughters. I got 2 living here in Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
My son, he's in Texas with his family.
Mm-hmm.
And I can drive from here to Erie, but I gotta wear a patch
Okay.
Mm.
because everything's gone in this eye. But
Oh.
when I drive, everything comes across. Like if somebody's passing me,
Yeah.
it looks like they're taking the front end of my car off.
Oh.
And there's nothing that they can do about it. So I knew the doctor I went to. And I said, you take my license away and shit, you might as well get the goddamn coffin out.
Right.
So he said, if you promise me that you won't drive at night
Mm-hmm.
and no further than Erie, he said, I'll let you drive if you'll wear the patch. So that's what I do. But he said, I should take your license right now.
John, we're making as Greg said, we're making a film of
Yeah.
the first 10 years of State Line. We're going to show that film on September 26th in Jamestown.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance your daughter would bring you over that day?
26 to what?
September 26th.
September.
September. It's a Sunday afternoon,
Oh,
middle of the day.
yeah, yeah,
Because
probably.
all these guys we've been talking about today
Yeah.
are all going to be there that
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
You might enjoy seeing all your old friends again.
I wouldn't know 'em.
They're all going to have name tags,
They're
John.
all gonna have the same issue. They're all gonna walk in saying,
Who are you?
No, they're going, he looks familiar, but I can't quite place him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get an invitation in the mail.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
maybe you can get your daughter to bring you and your wife over that day, and I think you'd
Yeah.
enjoy yourself.
My son-in-law.
Sure.
There you go, absolutely. You can bring
Yeah.
as many people as you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, there's, it's an
Well, yeah.
open, it's a public event, but we're gonna have some special things happening
Yeah.
that day. But all the drivers, all we've interviewed, about 40-some people we've interviewed, they all wanna kinda get together one more time.
Yeah.
And since it's a Sunday afternoon, it's a nice, easy thing.
I mean, Squirt's coming, and Bobby, and Jim Scott, and
Yeah.
Sammy Lemoncuso,
Oh, yeah.
Floyd Finale, Ronnie
Is
Blackburn.
Floyd still living?
Oh, hell yeah.
Is he still popping them, what the hell kind of pills he takes for acid or something?
Oh, I don't know about that.
You remember that?
No, I don't. I was telling Bill on the way over here,
He was
about
always,
2 months ago, Floyd got me on a road trip, and hell, next thing I know, we're stopping at every bar in the area.
oh yeah. Yeah, he took some kind of a lozenge or something.
Did he?
Oh yeah, he's like, his mouth would get foamy. I don't know what it was, but you know, but Floyd, in fact, Floyd, I bought something from him or he bought something from me, I don't know, or I give him something. But I can't think of what it was now.
Did you guys get together after the races? Was there sort of a collegiality among the racers, or did you head home?
No, I'd head home because I'd take the crew someplace to eat on the way home.
Oh, okay.
Every night. Like come from Bustye, we'd stop. Come from Erie, we'd stop in Ripley. And then go on to Westfield or so on and so
Right.
forth. But George Helso,
Yep.
him and I built the motors. I'd help him out there at the speed shop.
Yeah.
At night, many nights, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Especially building my motor. Everything right to the T. Every rod, every bolt. We'd sift through bolts and measure them.
Amazing.
But he had the speed shop, and he just bought the speed shop. And he wanted the balancing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a guy out there that used to do some balancing. So I bought the balancing machine and put it in George's garage. And I said, if you make any money on it, just throw a little my way once in a while. He always did,
Did he really?
yeah. And that's how he got his balancing machine. And when he balanced my motors, I mean they were balanced.
Yeah.
Because he knew I was going to run the piss out of him.
You know, John, I gotta interrupt just for a second. But when I first started racing, I went to B&H and I knew Big George. And one night I was up there and he was telling Johnny Ditch stories. And I'm gonna tell you, Big George held you right up here.
Oh yeah, I knew.
Right up on top. He said, Johnny Ditch is the man. He says, he's gonna get it done. He's been all over this country racing.
Yep.
And it was one of the first times I ever heard the term, but he said Johnny Ditch is the real deal. And I just wanted you to know that. George held you way up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then over at bus style one night, kid come up to me. And he says, you got a inch and 3/4 socket or inch and 1/4, I don't know what it was now. I said, yeah. He said, my dad wants a board. He said, I said, who's your dad? He said, Johnny Ditch. I said, get the hell out of here because I'm Johnny Ditch. Honest to God.
Oh, no kidding.
That happened to me. Yeah. Oh, over by, now that was way back when I was running Chevrolet over there. Yeah.
That is so
Unbelievable. Yeah, Lloyd, all their wives and everything they were all real nice to me. But that promoter, or whatever the hell his name was,
Lloyd
Yeah.
Williams?
yeah, him and I go round and round.
Really?
Oh yeah. One night at Erie, we stayed up till 3 o'clock arguing for $5 in Erie. I
With
told,
Leonard,
yeah, I told him he's cheating me.
over $5.
$5, 3 o'clock in the morning when we left. Erie Speedway.
Did you get along any better with Jerry Frank?
Jerry he was all right. Jerry was all right. And then what was the other one? There was three of them.
Don Frank, his brother,
Yeah,
and Lloyd Williams, he was the announcer.
yeah, he was the one up in the stands.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and then one of their wives always was at where you checked in.
Barb Briggs,
Yeah.
Leonard's wife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Did you make any money?
Where? Here?
Racing.
Here? Hell no. You didn't make no money. You blew it.
He spent money, yeah.
I had motors. I had one motor flew in from California
Really?
on an airplane. That cost me more than the motor did. It was supposed to be all balanced and everything. We dropped her in, went to bus die, and I dropped her out. Didn't even run one night.
Wow.
And that's the motor alone was $1,800. $700 to get her flew in this Erie.
You went through quite a few motors with them Pontiacs, didn't you?
13 one year and 13 the next year.
13 engines in 1 year?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
2 years in a row.
I
That's
had to
what.
ask him that.
That's when I flopped it and made a Chevrolet out of it.
Yep.
What's the story we're missing? What is the question we should be asking Johnny Ditch that we haven't yet?
Not much. You really hit most of the good points.
I got one. Did you have fun, John?
Oh
Did
yeah.
you have fun when you look back on it?
Oh yeah.
Would you do it again, John, if you could?
If I was young.
You'd do it
foolish,
again.
Foolish. Spend a lot of money. Believe me, a lot of money. 'Cause I made good money.
You must have had some good paying jobs then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sure loved
Yeah.
watching you, John. I sure love to see that U2 roll out.
You'll never see it again for me.
No, I don't have to. It's up here on the...
But no, I had a good life. And I traveled the country just like, well, that one time up at Dayton, Ohio. Bob Pronger come up to me and he said, "What do you say we go run the fairs?" I said, "Where the hell are you going to run the fairs?" "Out west." I said, "Well, can we make any money?" He said, "Yeah, we'll make money." He said, "I'll tell you what we'll do. What I make, what you make, we'll throw in together, and at the end of the 2 weeks, we'll split it and forget it." I said, "Okay, I'm going with you." So I was gone for 2 weeks. Nobody knew where the hell I was. They called the promoter. This is my first wife. She called the promoter and everything. "Where's John?" "I don't know. He left here with a smile on his face. He ain't hurt."
You
"Nope."
didn't even call her to tell you what you're doing?
Hell no. No.
Gee.
She was an alcoholic.
Oh, so you didn't really care.
So I took off for 2 weeks. Went out west. Run a couple nights a week. So we made money. Had a good time. A real good time.
Now that's a smile.
Yeah, yeah. Might have to turn off the camera to hear the real stories.
No. But
Well, this has been great, Johnny. Thank
you so much, John.
And
This has been wonderful.
we hope, well, you'll get the invitation.
oh yeah, I got time yet.
We'll get the invitation
'Cause
to
we
you.
we gotta leave for 4:30.
Well, we're leaving now.
But we'll look forward to maybe get you up there September 26th. You'll see some people that you haven't seen in a long time, and they'll love
Yeah.
to see you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your daughter and son-in-law who've heard all the
Well,
stories.
My one son, or son-in-law, and daughter, they used to go to the races with me.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, Rita and Jim Baum.
Well, then they'll enjoy seeing all these old fellas again too.
Yeah, Jim will bring me up. If I don't know if the women will want to come, but
Hey, why not? There'll be other women there.
yeah.
But the highlight's gonna be is I'm gonna get a picture of you, Johnny, here with Bill, because Bill thinks you walk on water. But we'll get you to stand up here. We'll do this. We'll
You
unwrap
can
it.
stay there, I'll get back in there. Stay there, Johnny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's used to come up to the garage in Westfield.
Absolutely.
Yes, I did.
Oh, look at this. This is terrific. This is terrific. All right, we need one more here now. We're gonna be smiling this time. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Perfect. All right.
Okay.
That's gonna be on, we'll put that on Speed TV Network. Thank you, John.
You betcha.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
Hey, no
Yeah, it was
problem.
Great to see